I want my students must be physically fit, mentally alert, intellectually sharp, and spiritually elevated. We want all our students, they should be a solution provider, not a problem creator.
Professor Milind Pande, Pro-Vice-Chancellor at MIT World Peace University in Pune, India.
It's over the 4 decades of academic excellence. These are the 6 universities, 80 institutions, 82,000 students, more 10,000 staff, more than 1,000 acre of land, and turnover of more than 2,000 crore. Innovation, incubation, invention is at its core, and that is how we are transforming the university in current context. We are transforming education with the help of technology. To earn the degree is important, but to build a character is equally important. The world's largest peace dome at the Pune, just to promote the culture of peace in the world. We are transforming the hearts, we are not just training the minds.
Hello and welcome to Dinis Guarda YouTube podcast show, once again in collaboration with businessabc.net, citiesabc.com, and wisdomia.ai. As you know, in this podcast show, one of the things that makes me more excited is to meet people from all over the world, and especially the doers, the researchers, and the personalities that are making the world a better place, but as well that have the energy and the passion to drive communities, to drive education organizations and make this forward. Education is the most important thing as we bridge a civilization that has a lot of challenges, and is as well one of the most empowerment things that makes us more human. And education is a lot of right now going through a lot of challenges, from the technological challenges, from the society and civilizational risks that we have when it comes to applying of artificial intelligence and a lot of different things. And as well, education comes with a notice of the institutions, universities that put together all these ecosystems. So today I'm particularly excited and very inspired as well to welcome to the series someone that I met some time ago, but has been actually growing on me as not just as a leader in education, but as well as a personality that has a wonderful humanity energy. And as well, a personality that brings, I would say, a way of connecting people unique. And I became very passionate for the organization that this personality represents. So today I want to welcome to our series Professor Milind Pande. And Dr. and Professor Milind is a personality that touches a lot of different things when it comes to education. He is an educationalist, institution builder, and currently is the Pro-Vice-Chancellor at MIT World Peace University in Pune, India. With over 30 years of experience in academia, Dr. Milind has made significant contribution in the areas of wireless technology, technology transfer, mobile education, and ICT innovations. He holds 2 doctorates, PhDs, one in international trade and another in wireless technology. Dr. Milind has earned a triple master's degree in electronics, marketing, and MBA, the personal management, MPM, and is a rare recipient of a postdoctoral research fellowship from the Ministry of HRD of the Government of India. His research during the fellowship focused on telecom technology transfer, especially in rural education, as part of the Providing Urban Opportunities in Rural Areas, a project initiated with the former president of the Government of India in New Delhi. Dr. Milind is as well a prolific researcher and author of papers and publications, such as the world-class textbook titled Next Generation Mobile Communications. And this book was published by Macro Hill Education and has focused on India telecom ecosystem and in collaboration with Professor Rishi Kapal. Additionally, Dr. Milind has authored a world-class book chapter titled Application of Cohort Intelligence Algorithm for Numerical Integration, published in Intelligent Systems and Applications, Select Proceedings at Springer publication. From his research, Dr. Milind has over 70 research publications and 10 international and national granted patents. And in 2021, he was honored with the prestigious VASVIK Industrial Research Scientist Award in the field of information and communication technology. His notable projects include hybrid hexagonal energy efficient, wireless sensor network for precision agriculture, mobile-based attendance systems, and the list goes on. Dr. Milind as well has traveled widely in terms of engaging cooperation between universities and across multiple countries, from the US to UK, Singapore, Switzerland, Finland, Japan, and the list goes on from Thailand to Egypt. It's been specifically focused as well in technology transfers through universities and education organizations, faculty exchanges, and university collaborations. The list goes on. I will put all this information, but I want to welcome you, Dr. Milind. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much. And I am equally excited to be the part of this program. From last 1 week, I was going through the different YouTube channel, listening to the so many people you interviewed, and I am so much impressed with the kind of diversity in your YouTube channel. So I was passionate and I'm equally eager to discuss with you.
Thank you so much. It's really an honor. And I think, like I said in the beginning, what makes me more excited about this interview is that you, with your education and fantastic research capacities, you are as well a people's person, an human-centric personality. And I saw you, I had the privilege to listen to you speaking in multiple places, but as well, the passion you bring to students, to university, and as well, of course, we're going to be talking about the MIT WPU Pune, which is one of the fast-growing organizations worldwide. But as well, I'm very interested to know about you, okay, because it's all about people. And I know that you're very human. Actually, just as an anecdote, you actually helped me improving my own health with medicine from India. That's something that I was kind of initially a bit skeptical, but now I'm actually dealing with it every day. So let's start with a bit of your personal background, a bit of from India. And of course, India is a puzzle continent with a lot of as well diversity and cultures. A bit of your background, a bit of family, and how do you choose the academic career, and as well a bit of your background until you reach your academic prestigious career that you have now.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I basically came from a very holy place. It's a village with hardly 20,000 population. The name of the village is Shegaon, Shegaon. And while pursuing my primary education and then later on higher education, I came across one book by former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Sahab. He wrote one book called Targeted 3 Billion. And he mentioned everything into it, how the agriculture can be transformed with the help of digital technologies, how the healthcare, how the agriculture, the education, health and agriculture was given very beautifully, and how we can reach to the bottom of the pyramid. I impressed with this book and I started following him very fast. And he said 3 things. He said the 3 types of connectivities are required for uplifting the Indian rural education. What are those 3 connectivities? Physical connectivity, knowledge connectivity, and electronic connectivity. And one quotation I liked much. He said, I am not the handsome, but I can give my hand to someone for the noble cause. Beauty lies not in the face, beauty lies in the heart. And that transformed me. How this person is a missile man of India. And then he spoke about all those things, how he can transform. When I met him, he said, Dr. Pande, I want all our education to reach to the below poverty line. He gave one quote. He said, if Muhammad is not coming to mountain, let mountain come to Muhammad. If the farmer is not coming to education, let education come to the farmer. And he gave me a challenge. Please do something. We are in 4G, 5G. Can you do something? If the farmer is taking a lunch at his farm, can your device will support to the farmers for taking the higher education? Because in India, dropout rate from the villages is closely 52%. How we can reach to those people with the help of technology, that was a challenge. Again, in the rural area, we hardly found any pathology laboratories. How the mobile can be useful for taking the blood sample through the mobile technology, is taking a photograph of the blood drop, and then whether it is a chikungunya or dengue or typhoid, how we can facilitate them. Same with the agriculture also. And then I also came across the quotations of noble son of India called Swami Vivekananda. He is the one who has given a clear definition of the education. He said, what is education? He said, man making and character building is the motto of education, and expansion of mind and expansion of the heart is purpose of education. What we are missing in this is the purpose of education. And this drove me, created a passion. I was working with the wireless company. I was working onto the walkie-talkies and wireless communications. All of a sudden, I came across these books and I decided to come into the academics. How we can help the students to become the entrepreneur. How the innovation, incubation, and invention can make the students more enriched. And that came to my mind. We want to create that workforce. Those students, they never demands a job. So I said, we don't want the job seekers, we want the job givers. And that drove me into the academics.
Well, that's very inspiring. And it touched the power of inspiring and educating, but as well the power of people inspiring us. And I think you had this inspiration. So going a bit before that, so during your education, during your family, because of course there's always a point that we have a lot of young people listening to this series. What was, because you had a career on, and of course I mentioned most of your academic profile. If you would go through all the academic, probably will need 10 minutes, but you have all this experience. But you had as well a corporate experience, and then you moved to the academia. Normally the academia doesn't pay so well as the corporate. So you've been as well devoting yourself to education, and you explain why. So, but before that, in your family, in your personal background, tell us whatever you want to share, because I think these moments, I don't know, from your parents, from your village, or from your city, what was the things that made the touch this beside this personal experience with these inspiring people?
Yeah. So my little background, as you rightly mentioned, I did my 2 PhDs and 2 postdocs, 2 postdoctorate in telecom technology transfer and this rural education, upliftment of the rural education. My PhD was in 5G. We can transform the health care systems, then transportation systems, education and agriculture. And another PhD was in international trade. So this is my little background with 10 patents in 4 patents national. Worked with Abdul Kalam Saab, I said the former president of India, on his concept called PURA, P-U-R-A, providing urban opportunities to rural areas. And then I was a brand ambassador for Digital India campaign of the Government of India's initiative way back in 2016. My family, my wife, Dr. Himangi, she's a master's in computer engineering and PhD in computer engineering. Very interesting project she has done for her PhD work. The sensors on the body of the patient admitted into the ICU. How we can make it energy efficient so that those various equipments on the body for controlling the various parameters can be energy efficient. That was her project. My daughter's one, she has done his bachelor's in design. So she is now pursuing the higher education in augmented reality technologies, virtual technologies called extended reality technologies. Another daughter, she's pursuing biotechnology. So this is my little family background. I lost my mother and father some 10, 15 years back. But I came across many stalwarts. And one person who impressed me a lot is my founder president, Dr. Vishwanath Karat. He said, union of science and spirituality will alone bring the peace to the mankind. How we can join the science and spirituality together? I impressed a lot. And he has given me one formula. He said, how our students should be in future. As a family, as a MIT family, I want my students, they must be physically fit, mentally alert, intellectually sharp, and spiritually elevated. So we introduced the yoga, meditation, prayer, and campus is so beautiful practicing all these aspects. And the most importantly is we want all our students, they should be professionally sound. beside this. So this is what the value-based universal education system we are practicing under the guidance of Dr. Vishwanath. Peace-loving holistic global society, to form the peace-loving holistic global society through the technology, spirituality, education. This is the aim of this university.
So let's look at from your career. Well, first of all, the quantity of education you have is quite impressive because you're quite still young. So that means there's a lot of work just to juggle all this, and then doing a PhD is not a simple thing for people listening to us, and you have multiple. So let's look at this. How do you juggle all this quantity of education? And as well, I know that at the moment there's a lot of questioning, okay, academia, non-academia, young people, how people look. So what made you this discipline to make sure that you did a series of masters and a series of PhDs? That discipline to do this work and actually very complex projects from MBA to PhDs.
Yeah. So I already shared that incidents, how I got into the academia from corporates. I was working with the wireless company called Meltron, Maharashtra Electronics, and we were into the wireless set technologies, communicating from the manufacturing plant to the administrative plant, distance of more than 100 kilometers. So this was as a service engineer, I was doing the job and I came back. So while pursuing this as a service engineer, I very much felt that I have to have a very good understanding people communication to understand the various HR aspects, and on the top of it, labor, welfare, wellness and practices in the long industries. So I decided to go for MBA HR, that is called MPM, Masters in Personnel Management. Then I also thought, I was reading the books and I came across Japanese style of management and very uniquely how the zero defect. And then I thought, let me do my MBA in marketing and finance. And then I took the project with the Japanese companies. I learned the Japanese style of management. And then while pursuing this, I thought, even if I would like to do something in engineering, and I opted for my master's in electronics engineering, and I did my master's. And after that, I took up the job as a training and learning department at one of the reputed university. And I found that these qualifications helped me a lot in transforming the higher education sector. How to communicate with the students, with the companies, with the fellow colleagues, and how we can bring best of the best research from the corporate to academia. And this helped me. And as a part of this journey, I came across, since I am a electronics guy, mobile guy, I thought I want to pursue what is 5G. Everybody understood the 1G is all those old type of phone, ringing phone, first generation phone, 1G, 2G is voice and text, 2G, 3G is voice, text, video, 4G is voice, text, video, download time, 5G is all these 4 and microsecond. And I thought, if at all 5G has to help the education, 5G has to help in agriculture, I want to pursue my project and my PhD in 5G, and I registered for my. Prior to that, I was working with Indian Institute of Foreign Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industries at New Delhi. And WTO was a World Trade Organization putting many ceilings onto the various goods to be selling out. And I thought, what is this international trade? Why WTO is imposing so much restrictions? And that triggered me, and I registered for my another PhD under Ministry of Commerce and Industries that was basically on WTO. And that was my PhD in international trade and management. So everywhere, before getting into the post-graduation and PhD, some of the other ways I got that feeling I should learn this and I should support my teaching and learning for the betterment of the student, for the betterment of the villagers. And that is what, as I mentioned, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, Professor Pande, make this village as a lab. Whatever you have to practice, your practice in village. We have more than 72,000 villages. How we can well equip these villages? And that was triggered me from the farmer's perspective, how the WTO, how we can minimize the ceilings on the goods and so many things. So That is how I take these steps to get my higher education.
A beautiful story. And it shows as well, I think, a wealth of knowledge of putting the professional and technology background, the government, and then the education together. So they combine this and they start a massive career of education. So you mentioned, of course, the illustrious founder of MIT Pune. So I would like to touch that before we go more.
Yeah.
Probably let's start by how did you find the university, and how, of course, you found as well the very inspiring personality that I think it's one of the most inspiring personalities as well of the founder of MIT Pune, which is, for people listening to us, is the World Peace University. And I would like to touch that because I think it's a beautiful story. I had the privilege to be knowing him and engaging, but I would like for people to know, first of all, how did you meet him? And just for people that never heard about him. So I think tell a bit about, of course, Professor Dr. Vishwa D. Karad. So tell us a bit about that wonderful relationship you have with him, but as well who he is and the university. And how did you came to this university and became, of course, right now one of the leaders?
Yeah. Very good question, sir. Dr. Vishwanath Karad is currently 85 years of age. I mean, he's 85 and still he's very active. He's a first generation entrepreneur. He thought of when the brain drain was going from the one state of India to the another state, he said, let me start this professional education in the state of Maharashtra. He is a mechanical engineer way back in 1962. Then 64, he done his master's and then the PhD from Washington, DC. Is a highly qualified professor. And then in 1982, he thought of starting this professional education. He wrote one article in Times of India and said that the urgent need of starting professional education into the state, and then the history created. So currently, if I give you, this institution started by the academician, not by the politician or industrialist. From day one, he made it sure that research have to have an important component in the academia. And that's why he gave the name of the trust is called Maharashtra Academy of Engineering and Education Research. And then he is a UNESCO chair, the United Nations chair for the human right, peace, democracy, and tolerance. He is the peace ambassador. He constructed world largest peace dome at the Pune location just to promote the culture of peace in the world. He said, we want to have the peace-loving, holistic global society. And for that, he altered or he curated the syllabi. He said, when you say about the peace or when you talk about the peace, he said, all religions, they are nothing but the life guiding switches, how to live and how not to live. And in our academia at university, we are learning all the aspect of religions. We are practicing the best of the best concepts. And today, if I give you the overall spectrum of MIT, which is founded by the Professor Dr. Karad, it's over the 4 decades of academic excellence. These are the 6 universities, 80 institutions, 82,000 students, more 10,000 staff, more than 1,000 acre of land, and turnover of more than 2,000 crore. One teacher, how he can transform the first generation entrepreneur. And when he got this UNESCO chair in 1996 by the Geneva, and in Paris, he got that letter that the UNESCO chair for human rights, peace, democracy, and tolerance. He is promoting the culture of peace in the world. So this is about Dr. Karad, and what the best thing he has done, become a very, very reputed professor of thermodynamics and IC engines. He imbibed this value-based universal education system into the mindset of the students. The university starts with the prayer which is beyond the caste, creed, religion, and boundaries of the nation. He said, a lot of students, they made a protest, but he said, this is not whether you believe in the God or Jesus or Rahim, this is in the interest of the nature. You pray to your mother as if she is your God and participate into the prayer. That is how the university day starts. The prayer, then followed by the various departmental yoga, then the meditation, then the learning various aspects of various religions, practicing them. So this is how we are transforming. The basic aim of this university, just not to train the minds, transforming the hearts. And that is what we are transforming the hearts of the students, and that is the underline. Character building is very, very important here. The character building we are practicing. We are practicing the values, respecting your mother, father, nation, celebrating our all independence days, and so many things we are practicing as a part of the values. Maybe the discussion may go long, but these are the few things which we are practicing. But the underlining is character building. We said to earn the degree is important, but to build a character is equally important. The flower without fragrance has no meaning. The person with no character has no meaning. So that is what we are developing the mindset of the students. The professional is sound. We have to have all our students, they have to have the professionally sound, spiritually evaluated or spiritually elevated, and socially responsible. What are the responsibilities of the society? How to behave in the society? How to respond to the citizens, elders? These are all training impacting the students at large. And one campus, we have more than 25,000 students, 700 full-time faculties, and 2,000 non-teaching staff. That is a spectrum of this MIT.
That's an impressive numbers, first of all. A beautiful story. And I think he's unique in the world, especially the fact that you have such an academic prestige, but as well a focus on, like I said, the values, the ethics, and the fact that the university is world peace. And really, I had the privilege to speak, and for people listening to us, I think I just want to highlight how big, for instance, you have. The university is the size of a city, I would say a medium city in Europe. And at the same time, the Dome of Peace, which is one of the most beautiful buildings I saw, is actually bigger than the Vatican Dome. So I don't need to say more after that. The Dome of Vatican was created by Michelangelo. So it's just to say that there's a wonderful achievement that you did as a university. And I want to give special congratulations to Dr. Varad, but as well for you as well, leading the university to next eyes. But well, how did you meet him? I would like to touch that. You touched a bit that he inspired, but how did you meet him? I think these small stories are very important. And I'm sure that was probably why you're there right now.
So I was listening to his interview on the public broadcaster of India called Prasar Bharati Doordarshan. That is what the name of the public broadcaster. And I came across in the evening time from 6 to 7. I was listening to him, and it just got transformation to me. And I thought, let me go and meet him and request him if I can do something, whether I can be a part of your mission. And he was kind enough. Some 2-3 rounds of discussions happened, and he said, you are welcome on the board. And that is how I started, inspired with his talk on the public broadcasting channel. So that is how I personally came, met him. I gave my background. I came from this holy place. And he said, I am looking for these type of dedication, devotion, decency, dignity. He told me 5 Ds. He said, if you are following these 5 Ds, decency, decorum, dignity, discipline, you are most welcome and you can join my organization.
That's beautiful and very special. So I think, of course, as the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, you have a responsibility that I know that you take very serious, but I would like you touched a couple of numbers. 85,000 students is massive. As well, you have 6 universities. And when I say 6 universities, the group owns 6 different campuses. And I know that you're building as well different things around the world, and you're expanding the university. So this is, I think, for people listening to us, and this podcast is about education, business, and technology. So it's a massive endeavor because there's a component of entrepreneurship, there's a component of academic work, and a lot of work to achieve what you did. And as well as scalability, how you put something as advanced. And as well, we have to see that India right now is a power that just 20 years ago was not. So there was as well all the growth of India. So I would like to just, if you could elaborate a bit of this context, and I think would one thing that I want to provoke you and our audience is, for instance, when I spoke with, and I speak reasonably with a lot of people in the US, they have no clue about India. And in some cases, there's still the US and the rest of the world, there's still a lot of, I would say, stereotype images about India.
Yeah.
So, and of course, when you go to your campus, it's not different from being on the MIT on the other side of the world. On the other campus, I was in Harvard and I've been teaching as well in different universities. But I would like just for people listening to us, the fantastic achievements you did, but as well the cutting edge and as well all these layers that are key for achieving what you guys did.
So let me start. You very rightly pointed out India is not knowing for the technology achievements or the research achievements. But I am a diehard follower of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's a very dynamic, he has a vision. And he gave one formula again. He said IT plus IT is equal to IT. Even taking the India to the next level, he said immersive technologies plus Indian talent is equal to India tomorrow. If you'd like to build up the India tomorrow, these information technologies, immersive technologies have to be imbibed into the mindset of the students. And that is how the digital India started. The technology, the 72,000 villages got connected. He came up with a very fantastic idea called National Knowledge Network. The cluster of the village-based schools, the cluster of the city-based schools. And there is one more concept called NOFA, National Optic Fiber Network. And there's all the villages and cities, they got connected through this digital India mission. So this is one thing. But then if into the education, he said, skill development is very, very important, which I'm coming on to the point which we would like to follow. And he said the 10 technologies which are dominating the entire world, how we can integrate of these 10 technologies into the curriculum so that we can make the maximum entrepreneurs and unicorn from the universities. Let me tell you the DNA of success of any university is how many startups are graduating from the university. University is the own definition of university is universalization of the mind is university. How we can give them the 360-degree education. And let me tell you, there is a concept called CDEF. We knew these are the 4 types of students they are taking admissions to any higher education institution. When I say C is a campus recruitment. How many companies are coming, whether Intel has come, Microsoft has come, Google has come, the maximum 82% parents and students, they are focusing how many companies are coming to the university. Secondly, called degree bundling. How many students are going abroad in US, UK, Finland. E is entrepreneurship, which is mostly neglected till the date. 1% of the total students out of 25,000 in my case, 1% they are thinking of getting into the entrepreneurship. And F is freelancer, they don't know what to do. While understanding this, we came out with the various concept called hackathon, Smart India Hackathon. The very own definition of hackathon, hack is to extract the best things from the mindset of the student at the speed of marathon. Hack plus marathon is how they can give the solution to the problems. I understood many problems. In my campus also, the parking problem is there. Getting the auditorium at one particular time, how we can, so many things. So we want all our students, they should be a solution provider, not a problem creator. And then we started teaching this. We introduced these 10 technologies called A, B, C, D, A, R, A. Now it's very interesting. I made it like A, B, C, D. When I said A, artificial intelligence, B, blockchain, the BFSI, banking, finance, security, insurance. Now this blockchain is coming in a big way. A, B, C is cyber security and cloud. I said it's compulsory for all the students. They must learn what is cyber security, what is cloud. India is doing a fantastic job in digital payments, in UPI. All over my villagers, all my farmers, they are a part of this digital payment structure. A, B, C, D, D is data science and drones. Data science, data aggregator, data officer, data interpreter. And the next is AR, AI, called A is augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, extended reality, the future of the education and education of the. My student, they should learn by putting all those AR, VR glasses, how they can. We are running the medical schools also, sir. I forgot. We are running 4 hospitals, 2 medical schools, design program, naval engineering program. So this AR, VR is an important part to be the part of the education. We set up the labs, AR, VR lab, drone labs, and we are training the nearby villages. I said AR, AI, or robotics, analytics, is IoT. You are the authority in IoT, sir. I very much impressed with your book, 4IR, and and I made it sure that that book should be the part of my students, my final year engineering students. I made it available through my library, and my students, they are following your book. So this is IoT, Internet of Things. So these are the 10 technologies we tried to introduce into the system. And when I said my student, they should be professionally sound, so they must learn these things. Entrepreneurship. And I will quote one formula. I said, we want the entrepreneurs. We want the job seekers. We don't want job seekers. We want job givers. And then we made it sure M to M, P to P, and I to I. What is M to M? Mind to market. Whatever the ideas coming to the mindset of the students, how these ecosystem called technology business incubator can make the student to put it from mind to market, M to M. Whatever he is writing onto the paper, we made it compulsory from the first year of the education. They should maintain one notebook. While teaching, learning, if anything came across, oh no, this can be the solution, please write it. We will see it after 4 years of the degree program, what ideas came to your mind. I to I, idea to implementation. And whatever he is writing onto the paper, how we can take it from paper to product, how the entire ecosystem of the university will support them to become the entrepreneur. And this is what the differentiating factor at India nowadays. Startup is very high. The unicorn in 2022, more than 80 unicorns the India tried to give. So this is innovation, incubation, invention is at its core. And that is how we are transforming the university in current context.
And this, just for people listening to us, I was privileged to go a couple of times to the university, and I expect to go much more. And I would say that from the different campus of universities I saw worldwide is probably one of the most dynamics, if not the most. But as well, what I love is what you said, is the focus on ethics and values, very, very dynamic academic, because of course you have all this different focus on the academia, but as well a fantastic element of technical and skilled education, and as well the ecosystem of entrepreneurs that you mentioned. So from these achievements in the university, of course, we are in a very fast growing path, especially when it comes to these technologies, and education is going through a lot of challenges. But I think for people listening to us, as the scale of India, and I know that, of course, if you're in India, you know how big is India, but for people listening, just some numbers, and I know that you have some numbers as well. We're talking about 1.475 billion people. And we're talking as well about the countries. Just for instance, India did a couple of studies. There's 1,500,000 plus university teachers. And the scale of education is unique in the world. And I think looking at Europe, where I am, I'm seeing as well that India is becoming, in some ways, more advanced technology-wise than the rest of the world. I'm not talking just to Europe, where I am. I'm in London, and I would say sometimes that my internet works better in India than works actually in the UK, which is, I think, something quite paradoxical. I think the government of India did a fantastic work on putting all this infrastructure, and of course, bringing as well most of the population out of poverty, and making right now a country that is a dynamic that is enormous. So coming back to the university and your work in the university, just for people listening to us, I would like for you to share, or of course, whatever you want, your work as a Pro-Vice-Chancellor, and the work you do coordinating. You touch, of course, your vision for education, your vision for the programs, but as well on the day-to-day of the university, because like you said, this is not a conventional universities, it's a group with 6 universities. You mentioned hospitals, you mentioned different areas. You have even a labs, an AI and robotics lab. You have a lot of different things. Just a bit of these numbers and the facts that you have that I think for people listening to us, I think is interesting to bring the dynamics of the entrepreneurship and management, and as well achievements that you guys have done and are still doing.
There are some statistics from the head office of this MIT WPU University at Pune. If I mention this, we have a 9 center of excellence on this campus, including Tata Technologies, including Acker, Oracle, Cisco, and Revity, which is a biotechnology company in a big way. So we have 9 Center of Excellence, 142 technology labs. We have a MIT Technology Business Incubator. We have a very good ecosystem. If the student is coming out with some thought, some product, and the word called TRL, technology readiness level, if his TRL is 1 to 13, if it is at the 6, we are giving him a space to work at our technology business incubator where he can make various additions to his product and can take it to the market. So more than 25,000 students, I said, on this campus. Most importantly, what we are trying, I am doing the program. As a Pro-Vice-Chancellor, my major focus is to build up the basic science building blocks, physics, mathematics, chemistry, statistics, and biotechnology. This is, I had my all degrees, but then I said, let me go to the basic. So I'm taking care of this. And most importantly, which is majorly dear to my heart, is innovation, incubation, invention. So I'm doing regular events. It's a systematic fostering of the entrepreneurial mindset of the students at university. I will tell you. At the first level itself, it is called the co-creation. I took this idea from the Netherlands. I took this idea across Singapore Polytechnic. They have a very unique proposal. Whenever they are admitting any students, they are giving him one project without teaching a single day or single minute. Just they are thrown them into the market, do all the necessary things with the projects and come. So we are following this called co-creation. All the first year students of any discipline, we are giving them a social problems, how they can react to it, how on their own. In second semester, we are giving them a very systematic program called SLDP, Social Leadership Development Program. We are inviting the best of the best social leaders, how they evolved and how they made a difference. In third semester, we are coming with a very unique workshop called RIDE, RIDE, Research, Innovation, Design and Innovation. So best of the best successful startup, their owners, their mentors are coming and discussing with the students. So how they evolved, how their startup has made an impact. In fourth, as I said, hackathon. So 2 types of hackathon. One is the solving the government problems. 28 ministries, they are giving the problem statements to the students. Students, they are giving a solution to it. And one is the societal problems, the campus problems, the academia problems, and the separate in the month of September, this Smart India Hackathon, in another month of March, general hackathon for the society and campus. And then most important is the rural immersion program. So I'm a follower of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the former president. He said, whatever is the best in urban, how we can transfer it to the rural. So we came out with the 5-day program of the rural immersion. Each and every student has to spend 5 days into the deep rural villages to understand the basic problems of the farmers, whether it is the energy, whether it is the education, whether it is the environment. And one of my mentor, he said the biggest problems in front of the world is 3E. Is the energy, environment, and employment. These are the 3 biggest problems, 3E. And then he also said while this 3E, how we can find a solution to this. Entrepreneurship is the solution, only solution for employment. And we are seeing nowadays, including US, UK, Japan, the way the internships and placements, they are getting challenged. We need to come out with so many opportunities in the system. And he has given one formula. Sir, 347 is a formula. Please don't angry with me. I am always using this formula as a student of engineering, and I used to. So he said 347. What is the solution for these 3 problems? 4 is STEP. STEP is what? S for society, transformation of the society, through T, that is technology. Through technology intervention. E is the ecosystem provided. And STPP is the policy maker, how the government has to implement the policies for the society. And he said the solution for all this environment, then employment, is called assured startups. Assured startups, ASSURED. So long form of this assured is A stands for affordable, A stands for sustainable, another A stands for simplicity, and list goes on. Why BlackBerry got failed? Why Nokia got failed? Why so many things we need to learn out of it? and we must come out with the assured startups, and that is the solution for everything. So this is what I would like to submit here.
No, it's very inspiring, and as well, I love it. I think all the universities should be touching this. The 3 years is a great one because I think definitely it's going to be more important. Special technology becomes more important in our daily lives, but especially for young people. So MIT WPU Pune is known for the progressive approach in integrating technology and educational experience, which you explained so far. So one big question right now is how the impact of technology, especially AI, is going to be on the higher education. And I think how we can make actually this technology, and you partly touched this, but I would like to go on the broader scale because I think right now, especially the year of employability is going to be a big question mark because most of AI agents and all these different things are becoming super sophisticated. But as well, there's a lot of new jobs being created. So I would like to see how the university is looking at this, and you touched part of some of the programs, but especially in the context of your work involved with the several international collaborations. And on this podcast, I interview the director of United Nations for Future Education. And he was actually very alarmed with the risks that are coming. So I would like to see how these, because we are very positive and very practical. And there's one thing I love about that.
Sir, here I would like to come out with the concept of education 1.0 to education 5.0. Now, let me tell you, when I said education 1.0, all those ancient education system, one king, limited students, funded by the king, that was education 1.0 5,000 years back. When ink got invented in 15th century, the new era started called education 2.0. It's all the bricks, mortars, libraries, and everything called education 2.0. Education 3.0, when WWW got invented 1990s, and it changed the entire face of the education. Online education, PowerPoint presentation, and so many things. Labs. Just before Corona, it was the education 4.0. Education 4.0 means the education through machines. It's an intelligent education. It's a personalized education. One small example in a classroom. David understood 16 into 16 very well, but James could not cope up with 14 into 14. Through brain to machine interface, professor will come to know, he will go to him, hold his hand, explaining him how 14 into 14 can be done. Personalized education. Education through machines and intelligent education. And post-corona, ACBC has the definition has been changed, sir. ACBC is not in that sense. AC is after corona and BC is before corona. Before corona, it was education 4.0. After corona, education 5.0. Education 5.0, as I mentioned, it is AR, VR, XR, MR. The future of the education of the future. How this virtual reality, mixed reality, extended reality will help the students is understanding the various practical aspects of it. It's a blended education. It's a digital twin with the help of AR, VR, XR, and that has given the dimension. That's why we thought of introducing this VR, XR into the education so that students, they can do their projects, their thought processing at the leisure time and can cope up with the new learnings in education and can create the paradigm shift. So this is education 4.0. And one most important thing, and here again, I would like to quote Swami Vivekananda. And what he said, we want that education where our students can stand on their own feet. We want that education. And that is what triggers to the entrepreneurship, innovation, incubation. And international education, how these technologies, 10 technologies which I spoke about, how they can make helpful for students to understand better. And that is what we are trying. I hope I partially answered your questions.
No, you answered perfectly. And really, this is a key, for me, is a key element because if you attack the problem from this angle and you put all of these areas working together, we can succeed in all the challenges we're facing. And I think India is, for me, probably is the country that can lead the world on that area because definitely I think we have so much divide. And India is a country that I think for people listening to us, they're not from India, there's a diversity of cultures, languages, religions, and as well a respect that is unique and ecumenic. And I want to touch of course, you are called the World Peace University. So I want to touch that angle. You touched the importance of that. And I know that Dr. Varad created something unique in the world. and I want to be respectful as well. So how does this plays a role? And I know as well that you have the World Peace Parliament. So tell us a bit about this initiative and how this as a space in the university, but as well as space in building something unique in the world.
Okay, so let me brief you, and it was our great honor to invite you as a chief guest for our 10th World Parliament on Science, Religion and Philosophy, and you spoke so high. It was a mesmerizing speech to audience. More than 5,000 audience from 20 different countries, they came for the function. So this World Parliament is basically we are conducting at our world biggest dome for promoting the culture of peace in the world with the various topics on environment, education, diversity. The religious scriptures, they are nothing but the life guiding scriptures and how to live, how not to live. So many different aspects every time. And let me tell you, MIT was the first one, MIT WPU, to host the G20 Interfaith Conference. The India was driving this G20 in different countries, and all the top nations, 20 nations, they participating. And we got a chance to conduct G20 Interfaith System where more than 20 countries they came. And we discussed on the diversified topics, including environment, education, and employability. So World Parliament in the Peace Dome to promote the culture of the peace in the world. We are doing this activity. This is going to be the 12th World Parliament in succession. First World Parliament, we did it at Pune, then Paris, then Switzerland, then various cities in Pune, including the Varanasi, that is one famous place where from Prime Minister is contesting, Narendra Modi ji, and so many things in Delhi also. So this World Parliament in succession, we are bringing all the best of the best academicians, educationists, environmentalists on a single platform to discuss. Then, as I mentioned about the UNESCO, Dr. Karad is a UNESCO chair, and right from last 28 years, we are conducting the UNESCO lecture series program for the staff development. We are inviting again the best of the best minds and discussing with them, interacting with them, learning from them, submitting a reports to the UNESCO Paris and making it available for the entire citizens of world. So these are the two breakthrough innovations we are doing in the promoting the culture of peace.
Wonderful. And I think I will put links to all of this because I still have a couple of questions. I want to be cautious of your time. So you have over 70 research publications and 10 international granted patents. What are the most impactful contributions you made through your research? And share your insights into the application, especially of the cohort intelligence algorithms in numerical integration.
So let me tell you my first paper and then converted that paper into product. That is what we are aiming. It was a H2A2, hybrid hexagonal energy efficient system for the farmers. Now I will tell you what happened. In a land of 6 by 6 acre, we have put up the various IoT devices, various sensors, and then we did the experimentation. How my farmer can get the information on his mobile in the local languages about the dew point, about the wind speed, wind direction, rainfall, then water level, then soil moisture, everything will be coming onto his mobile. Even if morning 4:30, if he can open his mobile, he will come to know my machine, my water pump got automatically started when the sensor gave a signal that water level is getting below. Soil was a sprinkler will get on. And when I implemented it, rooftop agriculture for some good hotels, farmers, and many farmers came to me and he said, sir, you made us our life easy. I need not to go into the midnight to the farm and put the water pump on, to the sprinkler on. This is the power of technology you gave us. And cost was very, very negligible. It was a funded project by the Ministry of HRD, Government of India, and many stalwarts. So this is something I converted my patent into the product. Secondly, in agriculture, this was the agriculture base. Second is in health. Health, if you prick here through your Android mobile handset and you will get all your blood parameters on your screen. This I'm talking of 2013. This is not a rocket science. Nowadays it is got so easy, but in those days, in 2012, 13, 14, it was an innovative idea. Lot of, including Times of India and everything, they gave us signal. And school education, I was mentioning the dropout ratio was very high. And then Times of India came out with this, the MIT's tablet for farmer's headache. That was the title given by the Times of India, and we gave those tablets to the farmers. Very unique concept. I will just need 1 minute. So when Dr. Kalam said, no, no, this technology must go to the farmers' sons, those who are dropping out from the education system. And we went to the various villages, we adopted, and we went with this tablet, solar-based tablet. If we click onto the tablet, you will get 3 icons. One is education, school icon, one is hospital icon, and one is the market icon. The agriculture produce has to be sold into the market. So that if I am a student of the 4th standard and if I click onto the 4th number, the 1 to 10 number will appear on your screen. And if I click onto the 4th, the subject will appear. If I click onto the subject, topics will appear. And if I click onto the topic, the animated professor, who is the famous personality in that area, will come and will teach you for 45 minutes. And after every session, there is a multiple choice question answer session. And the student has to click whether the A is correct, B is correct, C is correct in their local language. And for every correct answer, one Santa Claus inside the tablet will give a chocolate to the animated student. That is how this is a great moment, the satisfaction moment for me when I am trying to converting this health, education, and agriculture through my papers, through my products. Currently, I have 5 products into the market. I am also a student of telematics insurance. How I can reduce the accidents, road accidents on Bombay, Pune highway. It is a very busy highway coming from Mumbai to, we are coming across so many accidents. So we made a use of the white box inside the car and how the driver is driving, whether he is taking a sharp turns, where he is high speed braking, and that camera is connected with your controller office, and from your movement is observing, giving you a signal if he is a drunk, if he is getting some sleep, so that the controller will give him a signal to wake up. So this we have done it in 2013-14. So this is how the patents are converting into the products, and a great satisfaction to me as well as the university and as well as the society. The farmer came all the way. If you prick here and take a photograph through your Android mobile, you will get the blood parameters. And if you can convey it to the CTO hospital, they will tell you, don't come all the way traveling 100 kilometers to the CTO hospital. You have this. Please go and take the medicines through your local doctors. The farmers were so happy. The below poverty line people, they were so happy that you really transformed our lives and we are enjoying our life. So this is what the great satisfaction from patents to products.
And it's really congratulations, because it's really an amazing work. And like you said, now some of these things are but it's part because of your work that these things became so important. And agriculture, tech is becoming a massive thing, and all these different things are having more and more impact. Then I think from the work that you mentioned the Smart India Hackathon. So this is something very dear for me, and I think education is key, but as well we put it in different parts. So first of all, if you could describe what is I think an hackathon from your principles. I think a lot of people still don't know. I think I would like to come up from a professor is always better. Although I think everyone in my podcast should know, but sometimes they don't. And then second, what is the Smart India Hackathon, which you are a key initiator, and how the initiative foster, and I think this is a massive initiative for the standards of the world. For India, it's still big, but for the standards of the world, is I would say from numbers perspective is a global thing. But how are you seeing this, and how as well you see the role of these initiatives to foster innovation, but as well the bridge between the different components and participants?
So let me tell you, definition of hackathon, as I said, hack is to challenge the mindset of the students, to extract the best things from the mindset of the student at the speed of marathon. Hack plus marathon is hackathon. So now hackathon, we have a different hackathon. One is octathon. So problem statement given to the students and they have to solve it within the 8 hours called Octathon. 8 hours. It's a live project, live problem statement given by the industry. By the way, hackathon where corporates are participating, ministries are participating, metros, these metro rails, they are participating, hospitals are participating, smart cities, they are participating. They would like to know this young mind, how they are thinking, how they are making the use of the technologies which they got learned in their 3 years, 4 years program. So they are giving a problem statement to the universities and they are giving some 6 month time period. And then there is a competition called hackathon where the more than 500 juries are coming from the corporate sector and evaluating their ideas and projects. So there are ideathon, only idea given by the students in a standard format. What is the idea? What is the USP? Anybody has done work on it before? How you are differentiating than that? What is the USP? What is the 5-year plan? Whether you would like to go for patent, trademark, design patent or further funding to your idea. This is one part. One is workathon. Workathon means the workable projects, workable products. Engineering students, design students, commerce students, economic students. So they are coming with their ideas and then they are preparing a prototype on it called workathon. Then we also extended this. Workathon, again, if your project is at the technology readiness level 6, more funding will be given by the corporates, from the universities, from the governments to take it further and to take it to the market. Biotechnology, we came out with the Biothon. For pharmacy, 3D drug manufacturing, organ on chip, and so many things, Pharmathon. Then for design students, it's a design innovation thon. For law students, for peace students. So we are categorized this hackathon, customizing to whatever they have learned So at MIT WPU University, 10,000 students are participating, more than 1,600 teams, each team comprising of 5 students. And more than 500 judges, the corporate juries, they are coming, they are assessing them and then making a remark. This idea, out of this 100 ideas, we are recommending only 10 ideas. They can go for the business incubation and then more funding required for them. Corporate sometimes came out, we would like to grab this idea. Send your students as the interns to my company. We will mentor them and we'll take up their idea. And so many things. So this is in a true sense. This is fostering the entrepreneurial mindset of the students. And most important thing, hackathon is not meant for science and technology students. These are meant for commerce, economics, liberal arts. These are the important kitchen innovation. In kitchen, there are so many innovations. Liberal arts students can come and can share their idea. So this is the way how we can transform the kitchen accessories. Similarly, in the law, the different type of concepts nowadays can be implemented in those laws, the school of law. So these are the things. The hackathon for the non-engineering students, these are getting more popular. Satellite communication, so many things nowadays added into the hackathon. And this hackathon took a birth on campus of MIT WPU University, and now Government of India doing it, association with Singapore, in association with the UK, in association with Sri Lanka, all the Asian countries. So India and UK, India and Singapore, lot of hackathons, forming the cluster of the professors from the international university along with the Indian universities, solving the problems and giving a platform for the students to perform. And this is a way how education has to be. That is my personal opinion.
Yeah, I completely share with that. And it really is not, it's not just about a personal opinion. I think it's an urgent part. If you don't do this, we will not be able to I think the challenge, and this is my next question. And so you've been brand ambassador for the Digital Indian campaign, which aims to promote digital transformation. So when it comes to digital transformation, at the moment we have, I think, 3 concepts, and I like to as well, like you did your list, say my list. So one is, at the moment we have digital divide, AI divide, and digital obesity. And digital obesity is a concept that I actually It was more or less, we discussed it a lot on this with the futurists. Guarda Leonardo is one of the biggest futurists worldwide. And I think it's a big problem. Digital, we had television obesity, now we have digital obesity, and we're becoming as well AI zombies. So I want to go, I'm using the names a bit more provocative, but especially as a role as an ambassador of Digital India campaign. And as well, I know that India is probably positioned better than the rest of the world on this. And I think a lot of the problems we have with geopolitics right now is because of using digital for divide, not for learning, because people try to use identity as a weapon, even if it's in a divide. And I don't want to go too much into politics, but I want to highlight these concepts and how you tackle this in India, because I know India is doing a fantastic work on that, bear in mind all the velocities and actually the fast growth that we've been discussing, but as well, especially in the context of Digital India campaign and then the concepts that I'm here provoking.
So Digital India is a campaign initiated in 2016 by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He said how to bridge this digital divide, how we can connect villages with the cities. In India, this is a huge difference. We are calling India connecting with Bharat. We said Bharat, that is another name of India. Most of the villages and rural and people and farmers, they are residing in Bharat. And how we can connect this Bharat with India? India lies into the metro cities. They have all the equipments, all the essential facilities with them, but they are deprived of in the rural India. They are depriving it. So this Digital India, they form the 9 clusters of Digital India. And out of that, I worked as a brand ambassador on the 9 pillars. Out of that, 5th pillar was very, very important. He spoke about the E-Kranti. Kranti means something out of box, something. E-Kranti, that is electronic Kranti, and M-Kranti. Kranti is a word, K-R-A-N-T-I, that gives something initiated at very large things. So I worked with him, again, the same agriculture, education, transportation, then environment, manufacturing, all those e-justice, e-court. These are some of the aspects of Digital India. And what the best happened in over the last 6-7 years is connecting villages through the National Optic Fiber Network, through the WiMAX, the Wi-Fi, all schools, they got connected. If I am discussing with you, 500 kilometer away villages can see me live. That kind of technology reach to the villages. National Knowledge Network, National Optic Fiber Network, and the Special Ministry for Digital India, for the betterment of the villagers' life, for the rural empowerment, for the farmer empowerment. Digital India came out with the concept called KSN. That is, we have a public, what you call the public, I said broadcaster is Doordarshan, and public telephone line exchange called BSNL, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited. That is the government initiative. So for farmers, they came out with the Farmer Sanchar Nigam Limited, Kisan Sanchar Nigam Limited. Whatever the information should reach to the farmers, should reach to the housewives, should reach to the students, should reach to the elderly people. This platform, through their mobile, they are reaching out to the last person, bottom of the pyramid. This is Digital India, empowering Digital India, e-punishments, e-court, e-case, then the agriculture, education, transportation, insurance sector, banking sector, finance sector. So these are the various aspects. Now Digital India making its impact, and it is only in the interest of facilitating the end user customer at large. This is the power of Digital India, and many people coming across digital payments. We are number one. India is number one in the digital payments. Right from the vegetable sellers, everybody is using the digital payment, and it's making a huge impact onto the livelihoods of villagers and rurals. So this is one aspect. But then mobile health is again in the just 50 cents, how he can get the 52 blood test with the help of Digital India. Low cost healthcare technologies for common man in new normal, particularly after Corona, through the Digital India, we can reach out to the urgent need of healthcare systems in India, and this Digital India through its infrastructure, we can check the health of the deep rural person. So these are the various technologies came after Corona with the help of Digital India as a train technology, as a rail reaching out to the end users. So this is something very unique. Agriculture, they are getting all information, farmers, with the help of Digital India. Even if you connect your mobile with the sensor and if you can put it, what is the nitrogen, what is the potassium in the soil testing happening for the farmer. He need not to send a sample to the some laboratories and taking their results. What should he put up into the farmland? So this is the power of Digital India, connectivity, last mile connectivity, and the citizens are very happy now.
This is one of the initiatives that I think it's more important because it's an initiative right now. The challenge is not for students alone. It's for a continuous reskilling and how important this brings to a lot of different things. So I'm conscious of your time, so I have two more questions because I know that we've been going for 1 hour and a half, but I think it's really important for people listening to us. So the next question is so we've been having a role in the Telecom Advisory Council and as well in UGC Expert Committee. So the telecom industry has been going for a lot of tech transformations from major global industries. So right now becoming an hybrid. I think it's becoming as well an hybrid, although it's still very important, but it's becoming much more right now, the tech players and the tech giants. India managed to create a couple of tech giants. And of course, this has a big impact in the way there's a transformation between the perspective of telecom and the education sectors, especially on the advisory council that we were. But how do you see this transformation from your experience in telecoms? And you touched that, how this innovation, it's changing very fast from industries that are multi-billion dollars, in some cases $1 trillion, to become replaced by other industries. And as well, how you see these challenges and the policies that can address. And I'm sure that partly of being part of the Telecom Advisory Council, we're looking at this and both the hegemony of these companies, but as well the transformation of these companies.
So now currently also I am on the Telecom Advisory Council by the Ministry of IT and Communication, Government of India. I said my major role was, of course, to reach to the last mile, but then I introduced the Telecom Sector Skill Council certifications for the students. There is a urgent need of skilling the students in view of 4G, 5G, its impact on the society, on the industry. So I introduced the various skill certifications, in-store promoter, then cluster manager, then the towers. You must have seen the big towers. This all how the call is getting routed, why the call drop is much more higher in the rural areas. So what is that required for that tower management or that? So there are many more aspects into it. There are broadly 4 sectors involved in this Telecom Advisory Committee. First, we aggregated all the telecom players. I was one of the members. I said, what are those skills you are looking for? Can we form one advisory committee where we come up with the problems? You need these skills. Idea, Vodafone, Airtel, Aircel, and so many players, they came out with various challenges. And we devised the curriculum. We made an integral part of the curriculum and we made the industry need manpower, the workforce, graduating from the institutions, universities, and colleges. This was my major role when I was a member of Telecom Advisory Committee. When it comes to the government of India, how the farmer will be getting the more benefits, that was my focus and we made it. As far as UGC is concerned, UGC is the controlling body. There are 2 bodies, regulating bodies and controlling bodies. University Grant Commission is a body which controls the education in the country. So when I said I am the expert committee member, my job is to visit the various universities as a part of the UGC committee, doing the accreditation of those universities where students, they are getting the benefits, where we have a full-time faculties, where we have a good laboratories with the working equipments, whether student to teacher ratio is correct, how many students they are getting exposed to the industries, how many students they are doing the internship. So there are certain benchmarking available, and my job is to make it sure that college is performing well. The students they are getting the returns out of it, the return on investment, whatever the student is taking the admission to any higher education institutions. My my job, and even I participated into it in devising the various forms and various feedback forms, various questions to be asked to the principal, to the quality control manager there, how the students they are transforming, what is the students experience from that institutions, and then we are giving them a grading A, B, C. And if the college or institution is coming to the A grade, they will be getting the more government funds to perform better, more number of admissions to be given to them. If it is 30, we can make it 60, so that they can attract the best students and can give the quality education. So this was my role as a Telecom Advisory Committee member and a UGC Expert Committee member.
And congratulations. It's a very big topic and really touches so much parts. Continuing, and last two questions, I want to be respectful. So from your experience making as a Pro-Vice-Chancellor through all your Indian and international collaborations, and we touched a lot about education, technology, the three E's. And one of the things I would like to see is, how do you see the future of technology in education? And especially if there's one or two experiences that you can share from any experiences. You mentioned the experience and the engagement with universities such as the US, UK, and Singapore and beyond. But what are the things that you really believe that are examples we should look when it comes to shaping the future of technology and education?
So one and most important, I visited US quite often. Last 10 years, I made 4 to 5 visits to the USA. I remember 2015, I was in Chicago. I visited Kellogg School, Northeastern University, Northwestern University, Illinois Institute of Technology, IIT Chicago. I was discussing with the various faculties, and at Kellogg, I had a great fortune to meet and see Philip Kotler. He's a big person who wrote the Bible of the marketing. So one thing which really transformed me and the takeaways from the Northeastern University, I came across the very new concept that time introduced called MOOCs, MOOCs. The long form is Massive Online Open Courses. The person who devised this, he said, we have the air, shelter, food, and education. So they created various platforms called EDX, called Coursera, Open to Learn, and so many platforms. So we came across, we learned 3 days. I learned EDX, the initiative by the Harvard and MIT Boston. In 2015, I did 3 days program there, and immediately I came to India to MIT and implemented that MOOCs. That time nobody was heard about it. Is there any course? And just you log in onto the website and you will get the crores and lakhs courses, 30 hours, 60 hours, 40 hours, 80 hours, and you can skill yourself. You can learn the things better. So this was my first experience. Secondly, the learning from Singapore. As I mentioned, when I visited their Singapore systems, I visited National University of Singapore, I visited Nanyang Technological University, NTU, Singapore Management University, SMU, and so many things. But when I totally surprised and followed one concept of Singapore Polytechnic, it's a project-based learning, initially the project. And then when I visited Finland, I visited 6 universities, and I was totally impressed with the skill development initiative, the Finnish education in those universities, after 10 standard, after 12 standard, the kind of skill education. And same is true with the UK. I visited at least 25 universities through UKTI. One delegation I took from Indian universities to UK, we visited 15 Coventry, then the 350-year-old university, Aberdeen, then Aberdeen Dundee, then Robert Gordon, and so many top universities, including LSE, London School of Economics. So many universities I visited I impressed with the skill development program implemented by the UK universities, and same I implemented, came back here. This was a great learnings from these poor countries. Of course, I visited many, but then these were, I can convert whatever I learned into the practice here at Indian universities.
That's a great wealth of experience, and especially the diversity of these institutions, because we're going through a lot of challenges and transformation in education. So I would say that as a humanist and as well leading one institution that has the peace element in the branding and in the name. So as an institution and as an educator builder, what legacy do you hope to leave behind the MIT and the World Peace University, but as well in the broader educational and technology community? Because I think probably my focus is for people listening to us is create. I think at the moment very easily we can go in, and I think especially in Europe this is big, is that people tend to go into cynic, so they don't believe, and then they question. And in the US, they goes, of course, right now in a big divide. But how can we make people have the sense of hope and at the same time a legacy? I would like to hear this from you, because I know that you're one of the most inspiring people I met.
At MIT World Peace University, our majorly focus is to promote the culture of peace in the world. We said the India known for three people who made a large impact. One was Gautam Buddha, China, Japan, the philosophy. Then Mahatma Gandhi, who gave a message to the entire community about the peace-loving, holistic global society. These are the two main brand ambassadors, those who are promoting the culture of peace in the world. We want to prepare our students to be the peace engineer, peace manager. All my engineering students, management students, liberal arts students, they should promote the culture of peace in the world. So this systematically, the peace program has to be inclined with the curriculum, and we are giving them. So to establish a peace-loving, holistic global society, we want our students should make use of our peace laboratory called World Peace Dome to practice this culture of peace in the world. We are not restricting to only our university, but it is open for all the countries, all the nations, all the universities across the globe. And differentiating factor is to practice the value-based universal education system in our curriculum. If I said in two lines, what I would like to say is, I hope to leave behind the institutions, not just infrastructure, innovations, or not just graduates. As I said, we are transforming the hearts. We are not just training the minds. And we want that India, and particularly at MIT World Peace University, where ideas grow into moments, we would like to bring the best research, innovation, design, and entrepreneurship in peace building activities also. And if years from now, what will be the best for the students when they come back as alumni and said, university believed in us and before we believed ourselves. That is what the takeaway from this. We want our peace ambassadors, peace engineers, peace managers should contribute to the holistic global health. And that is what my message from these peace building activities to entire community.
Most inspiring. I finish as well with your words, dare to dream, strive to achieve, that you use in one of your last posts. And I love that, because you guys are doing so much amazing work, and as well your inspiring focus on practical research and visionary thoughts, and as well this sense of hope that I want to share to everyone here, because in Europe, and I see a lot of young people becoming cynical, and okay, there's so much opportunities to celebrate and to be hopeful. Thank you so much. It's been an honor, Dr. Milind. Thank you for your time as well, for your inspiration, and I hope everyone listening to us that can actually learn, follow him, engage, because there's so much we can do instead of using energy for a lot of things. And don't forget the 3 E's as well. There's a lot of pieces of wisdom here, but I think especially engage and learn and act. Thank you so much. It's an honor.